Hey, if you've ever felt like you've just hit a wall, feeling stuck, totally overwhelmed, or just plain frustrated, then this is for you. Think of this as your personal pep talk and your playbook for breaking through that wall. Let's jump right in.
We have all been there. It's that feeling like you're just spinning your wheels. Maybe you're putting off a big project because that fear of not getting it exactly right is just paralyzing. Well, it turns out this isn't some kind of personal failing. It's actually a learned psychological pattern. And the best part, if it can be learned, you better believe it can be unlearned.
So it really all comes down to the stories we tell ourselves inside our own heads. On one side, you've got this thing called learned helplessness. That's where every single setback feels personal, permanent, and like it's proof that we're just not good enough. But on the other side, there's learned optimism. That mindset sees the exact same setback as just a temporary hurdle, an unlucky break, not a reflection of who you are. That internal story, that one simple choice, literally shapes your reality. Now, that first pattern, learned helplessness, it creates this incredibly powerful trap. And it's all built on a single, really damaging belief, the idea of, I can't. This right here is what the psychologist Carol Dweck calls the fixed mindset. It's the belief that our abilities are basically carved in stone. And if you believe that, then every single challenge becomes this high-stakes test of your worth. There was this one case study about a woman called Miss A, and she was so afraid of failing a test for a promotion that she just avoided it completely. She got stuck in this horrible cycle of self-criticism and envy. It's like being an artist who's too afraid of the first brushstroke to ever start their masterpiece.
But here is the big reveal, the thing that changes everything. The whole idea of a fixed brain? It's completely wrong. We now have decades of neuroscience that proves we have the power to break out of that trap for good.
And the secret is a word called neuroplasticity. Now, this isn't some fluffy self-help theory, it's a hard biological fact. Your brain is literally like plastic. It's malleable, it's changeable. Every single time you learn a new skill or face a tough challenge, or even just think a different thought, you are physically rewiring the connections in your brain. You are literally building a new brain moment by moment.
Okay, so this is the crucial point. If your brain is capable of changing, what's the key that turns the engine on? It's your mindset. Your belief system is the blueprint that tells your brain how to go about rebuilding itself. And this brings us right back to Carol Dweck's amazing work. See, a fixed mindset looks at effort as a sign that you're not a natural, but a growth mindset, it believes that your intelligence and your skills can be developed. It sees effort as the only real path to mastery. And maybe most importantly, it reframes failure from being a final verdict into just being a lesson. That simple shift in belief changes absolutely everything.
All right, so we've got the theory down. Now let's get practical. It is time to open up the toolkit and start actually building a growth mindset starting right now.
This might just be the most powerful tool in the entire kit. It's a single, tiny, three-letter word that has the power to transform a dead end into a journey. Think about it. When you say, I can't do this, it feels like a judgment. It's final. But when you just add that one magic word, I can't do this yet, it suddenly implies a future. It acknowledges that you're on a learning curve. It gives you permission to be a work in progress. Okay, the next tool is all about tackling that awful feeling of being overwhelmed. When a goal feels like a giant mountain, we just freeze up. The secret is to stop staring at the summit and just focus on the first few feet of the path. You gotta break it down. Seriously, start by just brainstorming every tiny little action the task requires. Then break those down even more until you find one thing, just one, that feels totally manageable. Do that one thing and check it off. That small act of just starting and then celebrating it creates momentum. It's the very first piece of evidence you can give your brain that you can move forward. And there's a really powerful psychological reason this daily routine works so well. Every single small, manageable win isn't just a checkbox on a list. It's like making a deposit into your mental bank account of capability. And that deposit isn't just a feeling. It's your brain physically creating new, more confident pathways. It builds something called self-efficacy. A term coined by psychologist Albert Bandura, self-efficacy isn't just some vague idea of confidence. It's the specific, task-oriented belief that you have what it takes to succeed. It is the engine of a growth mindset. People with high self-efficacy see challenges as things to be mastered, not as threats to be avoided. So how do you build it every day? Well, Bandura gave us a roadmap. First, mastery experiences. Those are the small wins we just talked about. They are by far the most powerful.
Second, vicarious experiences. Watch a role model, someone who's like you, succeed. If they can do it, that's proof it's possible for you too. Third, social persuasion. That's genuine encouragement from someone you trust. And finally, managing your state. Reframe that nervous energy, those butterflies in your stomach, as excitement. Your body is just getting ready for a challenge. It's not predicting failure.
Okay, you have the science, you have the mindset, and you have the tools. Now comes the most important part of all, the push. It's time to take that first step. Let's talk about Michael Jordan for a second. We all think of him as the greatest of all time, a total natural. But the truth is, he was famously cut from his high school varsity basketball team. Now, for someone with a fixed mindset, that would have been the end of the story, proof that he just wasn't good enough.
And this illustrates the difference perfectly. Jordan didn't see that failure as a final verdict. He saw it as information. It told him exactly what he needed to work on. He took that rejection and he turned it into fuel, building a daily routine of constant improvement. He didn't just try harder, he tried smarter. He practiced with a purpose. That right there is a growth mindset in action. So I'll just leave you with this question. That thing you've been avoiding, that challenge that feels way too big, that failure you're still thinking about, what if it's not a roadblock? What if it's actually your greatest opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow? What is your first step today?